Hello, bronies. It's me. It's Clayton. And for once, I didn't have a shift to come back to leave today. Why? Because, my schedule's changed. But anyways, Applejack's Day Off. This is an episode that's written by Neil Dusty Dow and the Fox brothers. Yes, the same Fox brothers that brought us The Gift of Maud Pie. And even though Neil Dusty Dow's had a spotty record with Princess Spike and What About Discord, I think this is the best episode he's written yet. Though, considering that we're talking about What About Discord and Princess Spike, you might say that's not saying much, but the Fox brothers really did seem to help him out when it comes to the writing of this episode. So what's the story? Well, Applejack has to deal with a lot of chores at home, and she really doesn't have time for the spa treatments that Rarity wants her to take. You know, just for her to take a day off and relax. So Twilight decides to volunteer to take care of Applejack's chores, whereas Applejack has 1 hour to spend with Rarity at the spa. Unfortunately, the spa has a problem with its steam room, and the rest is just the spa and Twilight dealing with a problem, and Applejack having to explain to them that it takes an outsider's perspective in order to solve a problem if you're used to a routine. I've noticed something with the style of Neil Dusty Dow's episodes. He spends a lot of time building up a message or building up a joke and then giving the payoff near the end. I thought it worked for What About Discord, but not so much for Princess Spike. But thankfully, this is another episode where it works, because the message is something that isn't tackled very often, and it is pretty relevant. Sometimes getting into a routine at work or when you're doing something doesn't always work out, and you need an outsider's perspective to have it work the way you want it to. That's not a message that's told often to kids or adults. Unfortunately, what happens with that style of writing is the fact that because you're building up a message or a joke for a long time, it takes a little bit of time for things to get funny or for things to get interesting. Thankfully, Neil Dusty Dow doesn't spend the majority of his time at the barn, which would make Twilight and Spike it would probably have them get into a bunch of slapstick sequences that would just show how incompetent they are for the sake of comedy. Instead, the majority of the time takes place at the spa, where we get some funny cameos from Spoiled Rich and Bulk Biceps, as well as a funny joke involving Rainbow Dash that reminds me of her Ponyville Confidential moment. Yeah, so I'm glad they spent the majority of the time at the spa rather than at the barn. Especially since I think this is the first episode that really shows us how the spa works out, because despite the fact that we've seen the spa multiple times in other episodes, we never really understood how the spa worked or how the steam room, really works out, or how many people really visit the spa that often. And not only that, but it's the first episode where we get to see how the barn really works and how Applejack's seemingly very simple chores, ones that I probably think that many people could do without even thinking about them, do have some complications that Applejack notices. It was pretty interesting. And in a similar fashion to the episode Look Before You Sleep, we got to see all of these perspectives from characters that couldn't be more different. We have the normal everyday viewpoint from Applejack, the detailed viewpoint of Rarity, and the by-the-book viewpoint from Twilight, and that's why I like seeing the three of them, interact with each other. Spike was mostly there just to accompany Twilight and to get a few slapstick comedy laughs, but heck, at least he was treated a lot better in this episode than he was with Princess Spike. And is it just me, or do you have any idea what kind of accent the spa ponies have? I'm guessing it's Eastern European, but I still don't know what dialect it is and what the heck she's saying half the time. So I end up, unintentionally giggling, just trying to figure out what she's saying, because it's an accent that's so over the top that it's mind-blowing. Granted, My Little Pony has always had over-the-top accents for certain side characters, but they've always sort of struck a chord with me ever since they first appeared in the series. Not only that, but remember the extra strength deep tissue massage joke from Castle Sweet Castle back in season 5? Well, that joke gets a reprisal because Bulk Biceps makes another cameo, and seeing him give a massage like that, it makes me think, I am never buying that massage ever. Even if I was a muscle-bound freak like him, I never would try that. I think that'd just break my spine rather than relax me. So, much like Rainbow Dash and Twilight, I'd probably just stick with a regular massage or a pampered massage. I prefer to be relaxed rather than to have my spine broken, thank you. Also, it seems like, is Spoiled Rich a regular at the spa? It seems like she wouldn't have to, considering she lives in a mansion. Plus, I don't even know if that's necessary. Anyways, the message was strong, the comedy was strong. I just had to go through a few different bits of the episode that I found enjoyable because I needed to stretch this review's length. But anyways, I found the message relatable. I found the comedy, while a little formulaic, and it took a little bit of time to get to the nitty-gritty, it was good. And the story was fairly well told. So I give Applejack's Day Off an 8 out of 10. See you guys next week.